Alright, in today's video, I wanted to go over how to get better on console. When I say get better on console, I mean get better on controller, because I know there's a huge mouse and keyboard issue, so I wanted to share to the controller players how to get better on controller and overall improve. Besides that, make sure you like, sub, and comment, because it helps the video algorithm, and we all love that. But I'd also like to know, what is the best thing you guys did to improve on console, or even to improve in general? Let me know down below, and let's get right into the video. Alright, I wanted to cover the top 5 tips I feel helped me improve on console, and as you can see, I'm on PC, and that is because I play controller on PC, as well as I've been diamond with controller on PC, and I played console for 4 years. Now, the reason I feel I can help you with these tips is that I know what it's like to have diverse mouse and keyboards 24/7, so I wanted to cover 5 things in this video. These are the things that I think are the top 5 that will really help you improve, and that is 1. Dead zone, 2. Sensitivity, 3. Recoil, 4. Crosshair placement, as well as brain more than aim. And that's in no particular order, but that is just what I believe. As well as I'll even throw in a 6th one for what controller to use or what controller I can recommend. So when it comes to controlling recoil and aim on console, it really comes down to practice. Now this is what I like to do. I go on house and T-hunt and I clear out the entire top floor. And I just shoot at the wall. And I learn the patterns of each gun. Now as I learn the pattern more, I'll back up further and further to test my recoil control, and that's what I'd recommend. And this goes the same with aim. On a controller, you are relying on 2 analog sticks, where on a mouse and keyboard, you're using your whole arm. So controller can be inconsistent, and that's completely normal, which is why I'd recommend doing T-hunts for at least 15 to 20 minutes before playing ranked, because it would not only help your recoil, but it would also help your aim be more consistent. I'm not even kidding. Before I even play ranked or anything, every single time I make sure I do T-hunts for at least 15 minutes, because it really helps. It will help you be more consistent with your aim, and it will help you with everything overall, and it's something I would truly recommend, and I cannot stress this enough. Just listen to some music and play T-hunts and you're chilling. Now the next topic I want to cover is sensitivity. Now for example, I use 100 ADS, 100 horizontal, 35 vertical, and I use 5 dead zone. Now there is no specific sensitivity that you need to use, but this is what I would recommend, because I always get asked what sensitivity should I run. So I'd recommend just trying to find a sensitivity that you feel you can control vertically and horizontally. Make sure it's not too fast. And the way you test this out is kind of like what I mentioned earlier. Go into a T-hunt with a new sense. Go up and clear at the top floor, and just start shooting at the wall. Now you want to make sure that with your new sense that you can, have good crosshair placement, have good recoil control. And if you notice that, then this is actually like not a bad sense. If you still like the sense, you like, fast sense, and you want to get used to it, then just do what I said earlier. Just play T-hunts and you just get used to it. It just takes time. Now when you're testing out your new sensitivity, if you notice that your horizontal recoil, left to right, is like too much and you can't really control it, I'd recommend lowering your horizontal. And if same with vertical, if you notice with your vertical, your aim is too like up and down, I'd recommend lowering your vertical. It just all comes to practice, which is why I just always play T-hunts, and it truly, really does help. So sensitivity plays a big role in this next tip I wanted to cover, which is crosshair placement. Which is why I'd recommend doing this, because you want to feel comfortable when you're trying to have good crosshair placement, because you don't want your aim to be all over the place, because then that's just never good, and you're going to miss your shots and not get the frags, and then everyone's going to freak out. So, like I said, do this. Just trust me, it'll help you a lot. Trust me. Now that I just mentioned, crosshair placement is very important. Now pretty much what that is just, you want to make sure you can aim at the head. And this is, very good in a one-shot headshot game. And the way that I would recommend warming this up is just go into a T-hunt, right? And just only aim for the head. Now it's going to be a little weird at first. It might take you a little bit to get the kill. But when you get used to this and you just start always aiming for the head and not just going for body shots, you'll notice like your aim will be better, because it'll kind of be like an instinct to aim for the head. Now there's a lot of weirdos that just prone on the ground like freaks or crouch spam, so like you might think like, oh, it might mess me up, but like no, like trust me, it's like if you can get used to aiming for the head, it will help you in many gunfights, help you all the time, and it will help you from just like winning them, because you're not going to just be getting body shots 24/7. Like crosshair placement will help a lot, and I would recommend doing it in T-hunts to warm up, because like I said, it will just be an instinct at this point if you just get used to it. Now another topic I want to talk about is using your brain over your aim. Now generally what I mean by this is, for example, I'll show you one of these clips. So you see here, I'm on my drone doing prep phase, because this is where I'm going to push. So I'm going to leave my drone there, and then before I push in again, I'll check the camera. Now you'll see I check the camera, I see somebody there. I'm like, alright, I can just get an easy nade pick right here. I'm just going to toss this nade in there, and I'm going to get a free kill. Now, you see I'll throw it in, get the kill, easy kill. only reason I got that kill was because I used my drone. That's another thing. Make sure you're always using your drones and always saving your drones and not just throwing them at the site. Now you see I drone here, it got muted. I got off the cam and I slammed him. I got a good call out from my friend that somebody was down there. So that's another thing. You want to always make sure you're communicating with the team. Now the reason why I say use brain over aim is because you're reversing mouse and keyboards depending on what rank you are, and you're using some controllers. But you want to make sure you are always trying to smart your opponent, because controller can be inconsistent. No matter how much you warm up, it can still be inconsistent. Like, even no matter how many T-Lents you do, there's still a good chance that your aim can be inconsistent because you're on 2 analog sticks. So you want to always outplay your enemy. So you see here, I know that he's in the closet. I'm going to try and nade him out, or try and get him to go out so I can go kill him from this rotate over here, and I get the kill. It all comes down to communication and everything. Now the best way I feel like I improve my game sense really just comes down to me playing a lot. Like, you kind of just have to play the game a lot and die and just learn from your mistakes and learn the common spots that you are going to see people. So now, for example, I repel in here. I know that there's going to be someone probably top solar stairs because I've been killed by it so many times, so I just pre-fire it, and there actually was someone there. You even see in the chat he freaked out and he just was mad because I just pre-fired him, and he had no idea that I knew he was there, because I didn't even know he was there. It just comes down to practicing and dying from certain stuff and just self-improving. That's a number one thing. You have to kind of drop an ego and just know that, like, you have a lot to improve on, and you can always improve. So you always want to self-analyze why you died or what mistake you made, and just don't blame it on other people. You want to always make sure you were looking at what the problem is. Now, some ways that I tried to get better was I kind of took the route of looking at better players. I definitely recommend it because it opens up your eyes to a bunch of different ways that you can get strats, get kills, and it really helped. I feel like I watched a lot of Bolo, I watched a lot of Pro League, I watched a lot of Pangu. I kind of just watched what they were doing, and I kind of tried to incorporate it into my own play style, because you can't really just copy people, but it really helps watching players who are better than you. And one last little tip that I think could really help you is what your controller type is. Now, this is the controller I use. I use an Elite Series 2 controller, and it may say 180, but I'm telling you, bro, it is worth it 150%. Now, I'll give you a bunch of reasons why. Now, as you see, there's the analog sticks, they're raised, but this is the most important thing in the back. These paddles in the back, I lean with my paddles, so the 2 paddles I use to lean, then I crouch with my bottom left, and I vault with my bottom right, as well as I use the trigger stops, which help me shoot quicker because I don't have to pull the way down. Now, the reason why using the paddles in the back will help you is because I use them to lean. Like, I lean with those, and the reason why is because, if you think about this, you're putting pressure down on your analog sticks when you're leaning left and right, as well as you're also using those same analog sticks to aim. So if you can take all pressure off of your analog sticks and you ever have to push down to lean, it makes your aim so much better because your aim is not going to mess up. And you may not think it gets messed up, but trust me, if you switch to this, you'll realize how much better your aim is. It will absolutely help you. That's just like a little tip I can add in at the end as well. But don't worry if you don't have that controller, or if you can't get that controller if it's too much money, because you don't need that controller to be good. I didn't use that controller for my first 3 years of playing. I just recently got it like about a year ago, and it's amazing, but you don't need it. Even when I played on PS4 and Xbox, I used a standard controller for a while, so that's just all preference, but it will definitely help you. Christmas is coming up, maybe you want to ask for it. I'm just saying, trust me, it's great. But let me just go over the summary real quick for you, just so we can kind of get a nice little analysis of what went on in this video. So I spoke about recoil control. If you want to improve recoil control and aim, I'd recommend going into T-hunts and just practicing your recoil control on the wall. And sit next to an ammo box, you can do it over and over and over again. Number 2, your crosshair placements. Just go into a T-hunt and only shoot at the head. It will help you, trust me. Number 3, use your brain over your aim. Just watch better people, try and self-analyze yourself, and just try and use your brain over your aim, because you're probably versing freaks that use mouse and keyboards. Number 4, work on your sensitivity. Just go into a T-hunt and just practice your aim. Just try out different sensitivities, but you don't want to change your sense every single day, because that's a problem that a lot of people do. Just pick a sense and just try it. Just literally just play some T-hunts with it until you are warmed up with it, and just change it a little bit, but don't change it every day. Trust me, you don't want to do that. And number 5, dead zone. Like I said, just recommend playing on 5. I think it's the best thing you could possibly do. 5 is fine, unless you have like stick drift, then put it up to like 8 or 9. That's what I do. And honestly, I feel like if you do all these, you will truly see improvement. It just takes time because this game has such a large skill gap. But trust me, just practice all this, you will get it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe, like. This was Royal Penguin. Love you all. Peace.